Steve! Oh my goodness! Yeah! Holy sh!
Yeah, kitty. Well, hey there, friends, and make no mistake about it. If you're watching my channel, you're my friend. Just don't go asking me to help you move, because I'm an old guy and I have a bad back.
Hi, old guy! Let's hang out!
Now, finally, it appears the worst of winter is behind us. Got some nice days going on here. Got plenty of things that I want to be doing for the channel, but the ground's pretty soft here. I need my loader to help with those projects and whatnot, and I'm trying to keep from tearing up the ground until it dries up a little. We've got a few more nice days coming along, so hopefully the ground will dry up, but until then I got some other things that really need some attention. I don't know if they're video worthy or not, but I guess that is up to you. So let's check out what we're doing today. Got a trailer problem here. Now, I bought this trailer new in 2009 out in California. I was out there on vacation. I've been wanting to get a new trailer at that point. I wanted something with 8 lugs. And long story short, we won't bore you with the details. It came down to needing a trailer on that trip. It was either buy one or rent one from U-Haul. And the cost to rent one from U-Haul, nope. I just put that money, bought a new trailer out there. Thought I got a pretty good deal on it at the time. I don't remember what the price was, but yeah, compared to what one of these would cost today, that was a bargain. But anyway, having said all that, I bought this thing new in 2009. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get in there and show you. All of the suspension pivot points in here are wore out. Now, obviously, this has been going on for a while, and I'd been noticing it. You get home with it, and you park the trailer, and you forget about it. And yeah, the last time I used the trailer was a couple days ago. Backed it up there, was checking the air in the tires, and looked at one of the shackles. And it was like, oh my Lord, that thing is thin. I keep forgetting that I need to work on the suspension. But went ahead and used it anyway. It was 30 miles away, stopped and got fuel, and I went and checked it. And the shackle had actually split open. And I was like, I don't know if we're going to make it home. We did, thankfully. But I did not just park the trailer and forget about it. It's here in the driveway, in my way, so I remember that I do have to do something about it. It is urgent. I don't believe I could use this trailer again. It is a miracle that it made it home. Let's tear into it and take a look. Now we can see the problem. Right there's what I'm talking about. It's kind of dirty, but yeah, you can see it actually has split open right there. Loose, everything's wobbly. Wow. Yes. Yeah, got quite a bit of slop going on back here even. Doesn't evidenced by the wear pattern. See up front, everything seems okay up here. Well, the last few times I've towed with this 93, yeah, I think it's a 93, if I remember right, F250, it was getting squirrely. Now I'm beginning to wonder if maybe there wasn't something janky going on with the trailer suspension making things squirrely. That kind of doesn't make sense, but maybe it does. Anyway, let's get this thing torn apart. Okay. Gonna have to resort to more drastic measures. Now I could drag my torch out here and torch these off, but I'm not sure what I was dealing with in here for plastic bushings. It looks like that would be no big loss if I did melt those out, because they do need some attention anyway. But it's a pain in the ass getting my torch out here, and this seems to be working pretty good, so I'm going to press on with it. Alright, here's the damage report. That is the one that I was the most worried about. I'm guessing the only reason this thing didn't collapse was the shackle on the other side still had a little bit of meat in it. The other shackle, not quite so bad. As you can see, all these little plastic bushings will need to be replaced. This, I'm going to call it an equalizer. I don't know if that's the proper vernacular for it. As you can see, it's showing some serious wear, so I'll be changing that. Surprisingly, the bolts were not all that bad. It's just, yeah, the threads are so rusted I couldn't get them off. I was kind of rather surprised to see that they actually have a spline in them, like a wheel lug stud. But the holes were also wobbled out that the spline was gone. This one in particular, this one wasn't too bad, and this one was in really good shape. Looking like shackles. Obviously I'm going to need all new bolts because I cut them all out, and this equalizer and the bushings. I was debating whether I should replace this whole mounting bracket. I don't think it's bad enough. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'm not going to tear the other side apart yet, just because that's helping hold these axles in. If I took all the hardware out from both sides, these axles would just be wobbling, flopping all over the place. I will take a good close look at them before I go to get parts tomorrow. That way, if there's anything weird going on other than what I'm seeing on this side, I will know it. But at this point, I think I know what I need. A couple towns to the south, there's a guy specialized, that's all he does, sells trailer parts. I'm going to go see him tomorrow. Ain't that right, kitty? Kind of nice you getting out in the sunshine here, ain't it? Yeah. Oh, and to get these bolt heads off, basically I just went with the cutting wheel, and I took about 3/4 of the head off, and then I ground the rest down. For these stationary brackets anyway, because I didn't want my cutting wheel to cut into those brackets and cut some of the meat out. For the shackles, I didn't really so much care. I think there's one or two here. I got the grinding wheel into it. But yeah, you guys are going to be changing these anyway. By just cutting off 3/4 of the head, knocking it off, and then it was just so much easier just to finish it off with a regular grinding wheel instead of sitting there and grinding that entire head off. I don't know if anybody cares. Like I said, I mentioned I bought this trailer out in California in 2009. It is a Carson brand, which you don't see here in the Midwest. It's been a pretty good trailer for me. People that have borrowed it told me how great it tows, and it does for the most part. I've had a tractor on here one time that I could not get the tractor up forward very far, and I was afraid I was just going to be down the road, but it did actually pretty decent. This trailer is actually fairly forgiving for not having weight spaced properly on it. Distribution, there's the word I'm looking for. The one thing that I will say about this trailer that really was awful, the floor on it. I don't know what kind of pine they use there in California or wherever the hell this thing was built, but it started rotting instantly. I finally went and put a new floor in it, 2 summers ago, but yeah, I limped along for so long with this floor just falling apart. I had sheets of plywood I'd put in strategic places wherever it needed it. See, these tires I got at a swap meet a couple years ago. This would be the second set of tires I've had on it. And I went through the wheel bearings, yeah, a couple of years ago too. And the brakes don't work. I've never been able to keep trailer brakes working on a trailer for some damn reason. I just give up. Well, while we're over here, let's take a look, see if there's anything weird going on this side that I didn't see on the other. Yeah, that shackle's flipped over, mainly just because I have the other side loose and this side's dropped. It wasn't actually running that way. Everything looks pretty much the same as the other side. Yeah, most of the stationary brackets, that rear one is showing the most wear and tear, and that's probably just the bushing on that particular one. Well, folks, what should have been an easy, quick repair, relatively, has turned into a long, drawn-out mess, like all of my projects do. Let me show you why. So this is everything that I got at the local trailer supply place, a couple towns over. That's what he sent me away with, $80 worth of stuff in this box. He gave me these. Well, he didn't give them to me, he sold them to me. I could tell before I even left that they were not nearly as beefy as the original. I mean, you can just see the difference in strength and feel it in the heft of the metal. See there how bad that wear is. But I assumed he's a professional, he knows his trade, he's been there for years. I'll trust in his judgment. But as time went on, before I got to putting this back together, I just could not trust these. These are just, I just can't stress enough, just feeling it, there is not enough heft there. Got the shackles, bolts, nuts, in the bushings. Now, like I said, I just couldn't do that. So I spent a day running around Des Moines trying to find the right equalizer link, and I could not find that one. I could find the ones that were longer, but nothing else. So I had to end up ordering them through eTrailer. Now, unfortunately, it took a week to get them. Here's the original. There's the ones I got locally, and these are the ones that came through eTrailer. Now, these are still not quite as hefty as the original, but they're still leaps and bounds better than the ones I got locally. So I believe I'm ready to start putting this back together, and I did get some grade 8 bolts instead of these grade 5s that the trailer place set me up with. The bolts didn't bother me so much as the equalizer, but I decided, what the hell, I'm in it this far, use some grade 8s. Now as you might be able to tell there is a length difference, and we'll get into that later as to why I'm running that longer. But right now, let's get to putting this thing together, because I'd kind of like to get this out of my driveway because I got some other projects I need to get up here next to the door. And plus, it's always good having your trailer ready to go in an emergency. So you're probably wondering, what's with that kitty? Anyway, you're wondering what's going on with these shackles. Why am I doing this? Well, if you look at this, you'll see there are splines in these bolts that I got that were trailer specific. And the guy that sold me these a couple towns over, he even recommended that I weld the head of the bolt to the shackle. Now the reason for that, which I was already going to do anyway without his recommendation, this is what happens when you don't. When that bolt overcomes those splines, it keeps trying to blow away on me, it actually makes the bolt start rotating inside the shackle, or in the bracket there on the trailer. These ones aren't too bad. That one is showing a little wear. And when you have the bolt doing that, that is not the actual intended wear surface. And you're putting a lot of weight and stress on a small area, and that's what makes that shackle wear out like that. By welding the head of the bolt to the shackle, it forces the bolt to rotate with the shackle and puts the wear on a wider surface and on this bushing, which is supposed to be the wear item. All right, I've got some sort of a misalignment issue going on here. As you can see, the shackle's not seating in this particular position. I suspect that it is because this shackle over here has flipped upside down. I got to cut all this out anyway. I'm going to do that before I do anything more to the other side. Well, these three bolts right here in the frame put up a pretty good fight. As you saw, I could not drive them out. I had to get on the head with an impact, even after I cut the backside off, get them broke loose before they'd drive out. I don't know what that was all about. The other side still isn't aligned yet, even though this is all free, but we'll get everything bolted in place, see if that makes a difference. Right, kitty? So I couldn't get rid of that alignment there. I tried tapping and prying on it. That helped a little bit, but inevitably all that was doing was transferring the misalignment into some other shackle. I even tried picking up the ass end of the trailer with the loader, taking all the weight off all the axles. Thought maybe that would loosen everything up, let everything fall into place, but that didn't help either. There. So as you can see, what I've done here is I've put a big C-clamp on each shackle to pull everything together, and it didn't really take too much effort to do that. And I did it with both sides, and honestly I was going to do this anyway. We'll get into why tomorrow, because I'm running out of time. Even though I got daylight, I still got to go in and get ready for work. Daylight savings time just changed on us. And I didn't want to go welding, landing underneath there and having weld spatter ruin my brand new M151 shirt. But we'll get back to you tomorrow. Later, fartwads. So it is the next day. Hopefully we'll get this thing wrapped up today, get it out of the driveway, and I can move on to other projects. Got the welder rolled out here. Now, I'd like to point out, if you're going to do this like me and weld these bolts to the brackets and shackles and whatnot, just a reminder, what does that bolt pass through? It passes through that little nylon, plastic, whatever you want to call it, sleeve, and it's going to melt that unless you get her cooled down right after you weld it. Hey there. Hey, watch it, kitty. She's down here to check out my welds. She must like what she sees. She's purring profusely. But anyway, I don't know if there's going to be enough light underneath here. Don't forget, got to do the shackles too. These welds are not some of my best. It's very uncomfortable underneath here. Alright, now as I alluded to earlier in the video, I wanted to mention why I did not buy nuts for these, and I think you probably figured it out already, because I never had any intention of putting nuts on these. My intention always was to weld this, and that's also why I have the clamps on it. Even without the misalignment issue, I was always going to be clamping the shackles together and welding them up tight that way. And that is also why I wanted the longer bolts that had this shouldered, non-threaded area. I wanted that to make it through the brackets and shackles to weld on. You are one happy kitty right now. What is with you? All right, it really sucks underneath here. I won't bore you with the process, Cat. Not gonna be welding up the other side. I'm just gonna do it. Well, folks, there it is, all done. Hopefully good for another 15, 16 years. Now, I do realize, as you should as well, by welding everything in, it's gonna make it a real bear to fix it next time it needs replaced. But who knows, maybe 15, 16 years, I won't own the trailer. Maybe by then I'll be too old, too decrepit to give a shit. But you know, it really doesn't matter, because while underneath this trailer, it fell on me and I was tragically killed. So whoever has to fix it in the future, that'll be cussing all these welds, they might get a little satisfaction out of knowing that. If there's an upside to it, I guess I'll be reunited with my beloved Steve. So anyway, thanks for watching my drivel, and until next time.
Watch out for your cornhole, bud.